till death do us part. These words echoed in my mind as I approached this unfamiliar house that my husband would now call home. It can be safe to say that the day you visit your husband's new house is not a day you dream about as a little girl, but there I was, and there he was, waiting, perhaps noticing my face and a blank stare as it betrayed the sadness that was always bubbling just below the surface. Our hellos are stiff. He paces beside me as my eyes and feet nervously search this new place, this home, not so far from the first home we bought together almost 13 years ago. I search his face for some kind of emotion as I'm trying to bury mine, because I will be damned if I give him any more of my tears. He has enough of them. My tour continues as I peek in closets and scope out rooms. I spot a backyard and think, that'll be good for them. Them. My children. The vision of my children in this backyard causes my heart to break all around me, and I wonder, can husband see it falling piece by piece? I close my eyes. I have to accept this. This is happening. This will be my children's other house. They will stay here and experience things, and I will not be here. So many days I will miss with them. They have been hijacked, stolen. These days haven't even happened, and yet they are already gone. From this moment on, my children will live in a world filled with twos. 2 houses, 2 sets of parents, 2 Christmases. Having come from a childhood of twos myself, I understand that we have altered their lives forever, and husband, coming from his own childhood of 1, cannot possibly understand. Not yet. And for that, I fear I will never forgive us. I open my eyes. Suddenly, I am frantic to leave, and as I search for the front door, husband reaches out for a hug. I pause. Maybe one day, his hug will be a reassuring sign to me again. Maybe one day, I will be able to accept his arms and forget this day. But today, this day, my body denies him this hug. I return to my house. His absence looms large. The empty closets, the wedding photos off the walls, the other side of the bed. It's everywhere I look, each room its own treasure trove of memories past, memories of a happier time. I pass my children's room and smile in spite of myself for their mess, their unmade beds, their open dresser drawers, their dirty laundry, just so close to the basket. This mess that usually gives me angst now makes me long for them. Makes me want to smell their doughy smell. Makes me want to sit and do math homework I can't understand. Makes me want to let my 10-year-old hurl fastballs at me for hours and then cook a dinner that nobody will eat and negotiate every last detail and break up their fights that are seemingly endless and have zero discrimination in their subject. I miss them so desperately all of a sudden, and I can feel the anger rise within me at the injustice of not having them home each night in my house, in their beds. But then I remember one thing. I remember that I am their one and only mama. A wife I may no longer be. at least for now. But their mama, I will always get to be. In my house or his house. Till death do us part. Hi, my name is Emily. I have 2 kids, a 10-year-old son and an almost 8-year-old daughter. We have been separated for almost a year, coming up in January. I wrote this piece in March. He moved from the depressing, divorced dad's apartment into this house. And that's when it sort of hit me harder. I wrote the piece more as a therapeutic, situation for me. I wrote most of it in one sitting, but then went back and really had to fine-tune it when I submitted for this show. I've been writing a little bit locally where I live in a local magazine, and I write on my blog, Gelato Mama, and now I'm trying to figure out a way to sort of use my creative talents to start making some money again. Well, I have to admit that my first pregnancy was a surprise. I was married, but I wasn't ready. I was young. My husband was 8 years older than me. So it was a little bit of a jolt, and I was, just doing my thing, auditioning and working weird jobs, and I was happy. It was 3 days later, and I was like, get over yourself. You're having a baby. This is awesome. It wasn't until a couple years after my daughter was born that I was like, I need to do something again, and my kids just inspired this writing to come out of me again. I just sort of took pen to paper, and it just was a nice release. Before I had kids, I was given it a go as an actress in Los Angeles, but then after I had my kids, I found the writing to sort of be more of a calling for me and an easier place for me to be creative. And it was a nice release, and I felt like myself again for the first time in a couple of years. I shared this piece with Expressing Motherhood in October of 2016 in Santa Monica.